You step onto a busy New York City street, and it's instant chaos. Horns blare, lights flash, smells hit you from every direction. Someone's yelling about pizza. Your sensory system is on high alert, collecting sight, sound, touch, and smell. That process is called sensation. It's how your body detects raw information from the outside world before your brain even knows what's going on. This falls under Unit 1, Topic 1.6 in your AP Psychology curriculum. So, if you're ready to make sense of your senses, grab your notes, fire up those neurons, let's jump in. Every one of your sensory organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, contains specialized cells called sensory receptors, designed to pick up specific types of stimuli. Photoreceptors in your eyes detect light, hair cells in your ears detect sound waves, taste buds on your tongue detect chemicals in food and drink, giving you the sweet, sour, salty, bitter, or umami vibes. Receptors in your skin respond to pressure, temperature, and pain. Sensory receptors act as the link between the outside world and your nervous system. But remember from earlier videos, your brain doesn't understand light or sound or pressure on their own. But what your brain does understand, electrical signals, specifically action potentials. That's where transduction comes in. Transduction is the process of converting physical energy like light, sound waves, or odor molecules into electrical signals your brain can actually interpret. Think of it like this. Your sensory receptors are out there collecting raw data in their own language. And transduction is the translator that turns it into brain speak. Without it, you detect light but not recognize a face. Feel vibration but never hear the music. Your senses gather the info, but transduction gets it into your brain's inbox. But here's the thing. Just because a signal reaches your senses doesn't mean you'll notice it. So next, let's explore how likely you are to detect a stimulus and what it really takes to grab your brain's attention. Back to the chaotic New York City street scene. Honking taxis, blinking billboards, music echoing from Times Square, the smell of pizza. It's full sensory overload. But your brain doesn't process everything. Only the stimuli strong enough to cross a certain boundary will get detected. That boundary is called a threshold. One of the most important types? The absolute threshold. The smallest amount of stimulation you need to notice something. So imagine you're walking down the street and suddenly hear music playing a few blocks away. That exact moment you first notice it, that's your absolute threshold in action. It means the sensory receptors in your ears have finally picked up enough vibration for your brain to say, hey, I've detected something that may or may not be important for survival. And the same idea applies to other senses too. That first whiff of popcorn in the kitchen, first taste of salt in your fries, the first flicker of light in a dark room. Now, here's the twist. Just because you notice a stimulus, sight, sound, smell, doesn't mean your brain will keep paying attention to it. That's where sensory adaptation comes in. When your sensory receptors become less responsive to constant, unchanging stimulation. Think about walking into a room and instantly catching a strong smell. Maybe popcorn, cologne, or something suspiciously like wet dog wrapped in gym socks? Or when you first put on a watch or a pair of socks, you definitely feel it against your skin. But after a while, you stop noticing it. That's sensory adaptation. Your nervous system's way of filtering out unimportant information like a mental strainer. Because if your brain paid attention to everything all the time, even the feeling of your shirt could drive you nuts. Let's head back to that busy New York City street. You've already detected the street performer, the sound crossed your absolute threshold, but as you walk closer to Times Square, the music gets louder. At some point, your brain goes, hey, that's definitely louder than before. That moment, that's your difference threshold, also called the just noticeable difference, the smallest change in stimulus that you can detect. But here's the catch. The amount of change you notice doesn't just depend on how much the stimulus changes. It depends on how big the original stimulus was to begin with. And that's where Weber's law comes in. It says that the bigger the original stimulus, the bigger the change has to be for you to notice it. Imagine you're lifting weights. If you're holding just 5 pounds, adding 1 more pound is pretty noticeable. But if you're already lifting 100 pounds, that extra pound barely registers. Weber's law reminds us, it's not the size of the change, it's the size of the change relative to what you started with. So, if the street performer is playing softly and turns up the volume just a little, you're probably going to notice it right away. But if they're already blasting music at full volume in front of Joe's Pizza and crank it up a bunch, yeah, not so noticeable. All right, let's lock in with a quick recap. Sensation is the process of detecting raw information from the outside world. Light, sound, pressure, smell, and sending it to your brain for interpretation. Your sensory receptors, like photoreceptors in your eyes or hair cells in your ears, detect different types of stimuli. Through transduction, these stimuli get converted into electrical signals, aka brain speak, so you can understand them. Your absolute threshold is the smallest amount of stimulation you need to detect something. But if a stimulus stays the same for a while, your brain starts ignoring. That's called sensory adaptation. The difference threshold, or just noticeable difference, is the smallest change in a stimulus you can detect, like when music gets slightly louder or when the light gets a little bit brighter. Weber's law says that the bigger the original stimulus, the more it has to change for you to notice it. Alright, thanks for watching AB Psych Brainiacs. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss that next video. And as always, when in doubt, trust the data, not your gut. See you next time.